everyone, and welcome to a bit of a different kind of a review here on the Tom Jurassic channel. So I've been buying a lot of different toys recently, but not really many Jurassic. So I thought it would be fun for this channel to kind of become home to anything I want to do toy videos on, really. And at the moment that is very much the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra toy line from 2009. So you can see this is Sgt Stone, Special Forces Commando. And Stone is a really interesting Joe character. In the 2009 film, he is actually played by Brendan Fraser. The character here, the figure doesn't particularly resemble Brendan Fraser, but it's just a really cool figure that makes use of this kind of navy sort of camouflage, which I really loved as a kid growing up, and so I've kind of tried to collect a bit more of it recently as I've got a little bit back into G.I. Joe, really. So I thought it would be fun to take a trip down memory lane. You can see the figures from this line had these little cutout bio cards that you could use, which were really awesome. And you can see some of the other figures from the wave. You've got the Neo Viper, who I got recently. We've got Destro, the Elite Viper, Deep Six, Courtney Covergirl Krieger, who is one I really want to pick up, and also Heavy Duty, as you can see there. And really what inspired this review series was when looking at videos on YouTube, there aren't many high quality videos of the original 2009 toys on YouTube, so hopefully as I review them, you guys will get a closer look at some of the figures from this line. So we are going to crack open Sgt Stone here. It feels weird because obviously this is a boxed figure that I got off of eBay recently, and it's been in box since 2009. So to now open it feels almost slightly sinful, but I am very much a open collector. You can see we have the little tape just there. We can get this thing open, and that should actually be enough space to really pull Stone out from. There we go. And there you can see the figure out of the packaging. Really cool stuff. So we'll get the big sort of action-y gimmick out of the way first. So the G.I. Joe figures in the 2009s came with a lot of really interesting accessories. So if I push that in place and then get this little cable out as well. So this little cable plugs in somewhere on here. Where does it plug in? Let's bring it closer so we can take a look. Plugs in at the front here. So this is actually the back portion. There we go. And it plugs in just there. And the idea with this was you had figures like Breaker, who came with laptops, and you could then connect the laptop to the launcher. The launcher itself has got a firing mechanism, so it does shoot and still shoots after 2009, which is awesome. And with a lot of these, there was a big pit playset, which was the G.I. Joe headquarters that they did back in the day. And you could kind of take these off of their display stands and using the attachment brackets, mount them on different points on the pit. So really cool little feature. I mean, as a standalone turret, you can see quite useful. You might actually see this appear in some of my dinosaur photography going forwards. But obviously that's just a pack-in accessory. The main reason you're getting these sorts of sets are for the figures like Sgt Stone just here. So we'll take a look at him in a second. He does come with the same kind of stand that all of the figures from this line came with. So you can see there, Sgt Stone, this sort of dog tag style with the G.I. Joe logo on the back. Really cool. And we then get a small knife as well. And this is almost a sort of pen knife. If I hold that just there, and hopefully that will focus, you can see that just there. Cool little knife. The assault rifle, I want to say, is a FAMAS or something similar. It's not a TAR-21, but it is an interesting bullpup rifle. And then Stone himself does come, as you can see, rubber banded with a grey pistol, which I assume is just an M9. So we'll take that pistol out of his hands and take a closer look at the figure here. So here is Stone himself, and as you can see, he has got a grey and black tactical vest, a black t-shirt underneath that does have the G.I. Joe logo on the sleeve. We get that in focus just there. Only on the one sleeve, he does have the G.I. Joe logo on the beret as well. We just get that in focus, as you can see just there. And then, like I say, that gorgeous blue camouflage underneath. Now, the legs on this one do feel a little bit loose. It's not particularly surprising given the age of the figure, but he can still hold his own weight. And you can see the back of the vest there is quite plain. If we were to open up the arms, you can see where the vest kind of attaches on either side. And if we did want to take the vest off, it's just the one side, and underneath I think we just have a cargo shirt, kind of similar to what you would see on characters like Flint. So we'll just push that off. Yeah, and as you can see underneath there, we do have this cool looking cargo shirt. So you could actually display Stone like that realistically if you wanted to. He's got the two breast pockets there. That's quite a cool look for him as well. I think this figure would look awesome with some additional Marauder kit on him. If you are familiar with Marauder gun runners, they have some really awesome stuff. So actually loading him up with, you know, maybe one of their tactical vests and a holster might work really nicely. But for the purposes of this review, we will put his tac vest back on him, put his head back on, and let's see how well he can hold this assault rifle. So these assault rifles are used by the pit troopers in the film. It's a little bit difficult to get it in the hands of some figures just because it's got such an extended stock, but it looks like Stone is going to be one of the ones who can hold it quite well. Yeah, you can see there, that's quite decent. Compared to the sort of toys we get today, actually, these were super articulated, so getting that pose there is good. And in terms of the articulation, his head is on a ball joint, you've got ball jointed elbows, ball hinges at the shoulders, swivel wrists, you've got the hip that's on like a mountain bracket, and then also the ab crunch. The legs are on a T-bar, so they go forward. We've got double jointed knees, and these are the same knees that the Breaker figure used, and then also a hinge at the ankle. So these really are sort of the golden G.I. Joe days in terms of articulation. This was, like I say, the line that I had growing up as a kid. I remember it very, very fondly. And it's cool to now, as an adult, go back through and actually get some of the characters that I never really had as a kid. So I never had Sgt Stone, and he is a really, really awesome addition to the team. So that is, in a nutshell, really, my review on Sgt Stone. I am just going to zoom us in to take a closer look, and then I'm going to bring in two more figures that I've acquired recently. So we are going to add to the fold Scarlet and Breaker. If I grab Breaker, just there, and we grab Scarlet as well, her accessories are falling off, then you can see we got quite a few figures in this kind of blue camouflage, and actually they look awesome together, so I'm definitely going to be on the hunt for even more. But with all of that said, guys, this is a retro review of the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra Sgt Stone Special Forces Commando. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, favourite and subscribe. And until the next video, take care and have a great week.